everybody, and welcome to another episode of Resident Evil 7. Mia is dead, and we are going to try to find Evelyn and end this, because she is, of course, the cause of all of it. I'm actually going to leave my pistol. Yeah, gonna leave the pistol. We already cleared out this area. At least it should still be cleared out. Yep. Except I already booped this button, and the button's not booped. So I gotta boop the button again. Which was the hardest part, to be honest. I hate these kinds of elevators. Especially when gross monsters are coming after you. It's usually the opposite door that opens, but gross monsters. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, am I not allowed off? Sounded like someone was behind me. Wow. I just almost walked right into that one. I still don't have my knife on me, and I left my pistol this time, so gonna have to use a few machine gun bullets. Man, this gun was worth it. At first it didn't seem like it made that big of a difference, but it just blows everybody's heads off. As long as you can hit their head, of course. Point of no return. How did I know they would hide something? Wow. That wasn't worth it. Smoke bombs. Crap. Woo! That was a good shot on my part. Can I go back to the house? I liked the house better. I don't even know where you guys are coming from. Oh, okay. Makes sense why they came from behind me now. Because they knew I was trapped in here. At least for the few seconds it took for me to figure out to push the cart. feel like I'm running really slow. I did not see that there. My bad. Oh, I didn't know that was still a thing. Well, I guess it's good that I've been shooting them then. Wow. Well, that gives me more of an excuse to heal myself than just the one explosion. Sure. Check you in a second. No, that's everything. Okay. I'll check you now. Sent Friday, January 16th, 2015, 12:42 a.m. Thanks to you guys, it's been about a week since my head's been clear and back to normal, and she still thinks she's got me. You guys really need to work on fixing that. Not only does she look like a little kid, but she's about as stupid as one too. Mom and Dad are still totally under, though. I was wondering, is the whole family obsession something you guys programmed into her? It's kind of fucked up. Friday, November 4th, 2015, 2:10 a.m. That bitch Mia is still somewhere in between Evie La La Land and reality. She gets pretty violent, so I locked her up in a cell. I thought maybe Evelyn would get mad since Mia's her favorite and all, but she doesn't seem to care. She actually goes and visits her sometimes. She thinks Mia's her mommy. Like I said, her bioweapon is fucked up. Or your bioweapon is fucked up. Friday, September 1st, 2016, 1:10 a.m. Evelyn's family obsession is getting out of hand. She's making everyone kidnap more and more assholes off the street to add to her freak show off of a family. Maybe she's getting tired of Mia not coming around, but it's a pain in the ass for me because I gotta clean up the mess whenever someone new comes along. By the way, Evie's looking sick or something. Her skin is getting all wrinkly and she's getting gray hairs. Is that supposed to happen? It's almost like she's getting old all of a sudden. It's not that big of a shocker, but Evie's the grandma. One of the only surviving members, and I'm guessing this was Lucas because he talks about being, around the house and everything. So, and he's the only other surviving member. It's literally just the grandma and him. So, I am not surprised that the grandma is Evie. Infection report, but I can't really read it. 5 minutes after dose vomiting. Neurotoxin E-series dosage test. 12 minutes after dose. Cell calcification. 10 minutes after dose. Death. Okay. Oh. A use for the watch. And this is the neurotoxin. Yep. Necrotoxin. Either way. E-necrotoxin destroys cells of any subject based on E-series bioweapon model, used only for disposal of E-series assets. The toxin must first be stimulated before use. Do this by placing a sample of E-series cells into the necrotoxin container, which I did. And she'll die within 10 minutes, which is pretty cool. Why? This project was instigated in 2000 as one of the several concepts for the company's NextBoss, Next Generation Experimental Battlefield Superiority Initiative, working with technical assistance from HCF to develop a bioweapon for neutralizing combatants in MOS with minimal direct contact. NextBoss was later folded and all its assets diverted to this project. What makes this project markedly different from conventional weapons is its ability to turn enemy combatants into allies, converting hostile elements into willing servants. Since this effectively eliminates the cost of not only POW handling, but also combat itself, it's no wonder we had the blank and even blank blank organization chomping at the bit to get on board. Project would never have existed were it not for the discovery in blank of blank, the remarkably progressed vicariant evolution fungus that we commonly term the metamycete. The fabrication method for each bioweapon was to introduce the metamycete genome to a pre-stage 4 human embryo and perform cultivation in a controlled environment over a period of 38 to 40 weeks. The resultant organisms were referred to as candidate specimens and graded based on usability from the impractical and faulty Series A through D to perfected E Series. A common appearance was selected for the bioweapons that of a roughly 10-year-old girl to ensure ease of blending in with urban refugee populations. First E Series specimen named Evelyn, okay, so she's the first successful one, has proven capable of secreting the metamycete blank from her tissue at will. It is also of note that Evelyn's metamycete imposes a profound control over her body and mind when introduced into a host organism. We still have a lot to learn about the mechanism by which Evelyn achieves and maintains this control, but the working theory is that the vector is similar to autoinducer pheromones used for quorum sensing in Pseudomonas bacteria. Evelyn's control is exerted in a series of discrete stages, the first of which is hallucination. Almost immediately after infection, the subject begins to see images of Evelyn, though she is not in fact there, and even hear her voice, which is inaudible to anyone else. Auditions with infected subjects throughout the stages of infection reveal that at first, the phantom Evelyn appears to be a normal young girl, sometimes desiring companionship or assistance. As time progresses, she begins making more and more extreme demands, including self-mutilation and attacks on other people. The psychological shock this induces helps to break down the mind's natural barriers to Evelyn's brainwashing effect, and by the time mental control is achieved, the metamycete infection was progressed throughout the body cells so that the body blink. Okay, so that makes sense, really. Because I was wondering why she was having people hurt themselves. Hurting each other makes sense to me. Hurting themselves was kind of weird. But if it is to break down psychological barriers, that makes sense. This report details the symptoms that appear when the bacterium that grows inside of the E-Series infects a human. Be sure to read this document thoroughly before dealing with E-Series weaponized assets, hereafter referred to as a mold. Initial infection. The mold ingests nutrients from the subject body to propagate itself and slowly takes over cells within the body. As a side effect of this, the infected subject gains remarkable regenerative abilities. During experiments, we removed arms and legs from test subjects and found that they were able to cope the amputated limbs in a matter of minutes. Mid-stage infection. Once the mold reaches the brain, the subject's thoughts become in tune with those of the series asset. Subject starts to hear things and experience hallucinations and soon comes under complete control of the E-Series asset. If this state continues, the host will lose all sense of ego. Complete infection. After every cell in the body has been taken over by the mold, the subject begins to lose their human form. Physical mutations differ from case to case, but all results in him or her acquiring incredible physical strength. Containing a subject at this stage would be extremely difficult. And one more to read. Evelyn's functions also include the ability to form organisms from mycella, the fungal filaments. The term organism is used loosely here. Strictly speaking, they are superorganisms formed of countless mycella. What's important, though, is that they exhibit a strong survival instinct and will defend themselves furiously with the slightest provocation. Their fungal toughness and remarkable strength give them significant battlefield potential. The researchers have been calling these superorganisms the molded, made of mold and also molded as in shaped. The name has a certain elegance to it. For the treatment of accidental infections, performing blank on samples of Evelyn's body tissue produces a unique fungicidal serum. Administering the serum to an infected subject will cause the micella to calcify, but if the subject's cells are already largely invaded, the serum will be fatal. Since the treatment window is so small, the serum's primary use is therefore disposal of infected subjects rather than a cure. In exploring the serum's potential, we found that subjecting it to blank would enhance its effects to extreme potency, becoming a compound we now call necrotoxin, which blank in even tiny amounts. What's been interesting to observe in Evelyn's behavior is her obsession with the concept of family, an experience we found on multiple occasions that infected subjects were compelled to act as her mother or father, treating her as if she were really their daughter. Why did she settle upon family as the theme for her mental control? This is just speculation, but it could be that she instinctively understands that a family unit is better suited to blending into social groups than a lone girl. On the other hand, while a sentimental sort might suggest that she's making up for a perceived lack of love in her quarantined upbringing, a parent's love. Either could be true. Okay, sweet save room. And flame rounds for my grenade launcher. Narrow rounds for my grenade launcher. Something bad is about to happen through this door, but we'll cover that in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.